You're not lazy. Your brain is overstimulated. And tonight, let's slow things down. Most likely, you don't struggle to spend your time scrolling through social media or watching videos. You can probably sit in front of a screen playing games for 2 hours without feeling tired. But try working on a project or studying for 2 hours, and it suddenly feels heavy, uncomfortable, almost impossible. Whatever motivation you had disappears completely. What's strange is that you already know the truth. You know that studying, exercising, learning a skill, or building something meaningful will help you far more in the long run than another episode, another scroll, another distraction. And yet, when the moment comes, you still choose what's easy instead of what matters. So tonight, let's talk about why that happens. And more importantly, how to gently change it. There are people who seem able to do both. They work, they study, they still move forward, even when life is busy. So what's the difference? Are they more disciplined? More motivated? Stronger somehow? Not really. The difference lies in something much quieter. Something happening inside the brain, a substance called dopamine. You've probably heard of it before, often called the pleasure chemical. But that description is misleading. Dopamine doesn't create pleasure, it creates desire. It's the signal that says, this matters, go get this, do this again. Without dopamine, you wouldn't feel like getting out of bed. You wouldn't feel pulled toward anything at all. Desire itself would be missing. To understand how powerful this is, scientists once ran a simple experiment with rats. They implanted tiny electrodes into an area of the brain connected to reward. Every time the rat pressed a lever, the brain released a surge of dopamine. The results were disturbing. The rats pressed the lever again, and again, and again. They ignored food. They ignored water. They pressed the lever for hours, until they collapsed. Not because they were happy, but because the desire was overwhelming. Then the scientists tried the opposite. They blocked dopamine in the brain. The rats didn't even bother to stand up to drink water. No desire, no drive, no action. This is how deeply dopamine controls behavior. In everyday life, the brain is constantly making decisions for you. Not based on logic, not based on what's good for you long term, but based on one question. How much dopamine will this give me, and how soon? If the answer is a lot, right now, the brain moves toward it. If the answer is later, maybe the brain avoids it. This is why quick pleasures feel irresistible. Bright screens, notifications, sweet food, endless content. They deliver dopamine immediately. But things like studying, exercising offer rewards that are delayed. And to the brain, delayed reward feels like no reward at all. Each time you check your phone, your brain expects a message, a like, something new. Even if nothing is there, the anticipation alone releases dopamine. So you check again, and again. Slowly, without realizing it, you begin to behave like those rats pressing the lever. Not because you're weak, but because your brain has learned a pattern. At first, this doesn't seem dangerous. After all, everyone does it. But the brain always seeks balance. There's a principle called homeostasis, the body's natural drive to maintain equilibrium. When it's cold, you shiver. When it's hot, you sweat. The brain works the same way. When dopamine levels stay high for too long, the brain protects itself. It becomes less sensitive. This means you need more stimulation, just to feel normal. This is dopamine tolerance. And when that happens, everything else starts to feel dull. Work feels heavy. Books feel boring. Conversations feel flat. Life loses color. This is why many people feel exhausted. Not because they're doing too much, but because they're constantly overstimulated. Without fast dopamine, there's a strange emptiness. Boredom feels unbearable. But boredom isn't the enemy. Boredom is the reset point. This is where the idea of a dopamine reset comes in, not as punishment, not as discipline, but as restoration. The goal isn't to eliminate pleasure forever. It's to restore sensitivity, to remember what calm feels like. One simple way is to take a break from high stimulation activities. even for a short time. No phone, no social media, no constant noise, just quiet. At first, it feels uncomfortable. The brain protests. It demands stimulation. But if you stay with it, something shifts. Simple things begin to feel meaningful again. A walk, fresh air, writing a thought down. When stimulation is constant, nothing satisfies. When stimulation is reduced, life regains texture. If a full day feels like too much, start smaller. One evening, remove one habit. No scrolling, no endless content. Let boredom appear, because boredom isn't emptiness, it's space. And in that space, your brain begins to relearn what matters. Over time, something interesting happens. When quick dopamine disappears, the brain looks elsewhere, and slowly, useful activities become rewarding again. Progress begins to feel good, not exciting, but satisfying. This is how motivation quietly returns. The goal isn't to fight dopamine. Dopamine isn't the enemy, it's fuel. The key is where you direct it, when pleasure follows effort, not the other way around. The brain adapts. Work first, reward later, not as punishment, but as alignment. If you ever try a full day without stimulation, you may feel anxiety at first, then boredom, and then something unexpected. Calm. Time slows down. Your own thoughts become audible again. Goals that were drowned out by noise begin to surface. This is where clarity lives. If your struggles feel deeper than habits, professional support matters. But for many people, this isn't addiction. It's conditioning, and conditioning can be changed. Quietly, gently, consciously. Dopamine is neutral. What matters is how you use it. You can spend it on endless distraction, or you can invest it in a life that feels meaningful. When reward follows effort, even difficult things become lighter. Because they no longer drain you, they give something back. Tonight, you don't need to change everything. Just notice. Notice where your attention goes. Notice what you reach for when the day ends. And remember, you don't need more motivation. You need fewer distractions. This has been Evening Reset. Quiet wisdom for tired people. If you'd like more evenings like this, you're welcome to come back. Good night.